Welcome to the Journey Line podcast, where we hear the stories of athletes, leaders, and change makers, exploring the highs, the lows, and the defining moments that shape who they are today. I'm your host, Mathu Gibson, founder of Connecting the Dots, an initiative helping athletes unlock their potential both in and out of sport. On each episode, our guests share their journey line, a map of their story that highlights the challenges they faced, the lessons they learned, and the resilience that's carried them forward. This show is powered by Stillwave, a mental health and wellness platform created by athletes, for athletes, and for anyone striving for wellness. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow so you don't miss a single conversation. All right, everybody, welcome to the Journey Line podcast. Today, I have a very special guest. His name is Jason Anderson, and I would love to introduce everybody at home to Jason. Jason is the creator of Flow Player. He's a former Division I basketball player at the University of Florida and a former professional player in Europe and South America. Jason transitioned into yoga in 2006 and has been teaching internationally ever since, blending athletic performance and mindfulness. Through Flow Player, he fuses basketball and yoga to help athletes unlock their full potential both on the court and in life. He currently coaches youth players with Lokomotiv Grona. Did I pronounce that right?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's go. All right, good. In Bulgaria, while leading workshops, master classes, and online programs across Europe. With 15 plus years of teaching experience and over 300 hours of training under Shiva Rea, Jason has dedicated his career to guiding athletes into balance, clarity, and flow. Jason, welcome to the show.
Oh, appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to
Yeah.
the show. Yeah, great to have you today. How is life? How are things going in your way?
Oh man, everything's cool. Like I said, I'm in Bulgaria. I live in a village. I live
Okay.
in a village, man. Stone fences, horses, buggies. It's wild, man. Cause I'm from Atlanta, so you know, but it kind of reminds me of where my grandparents are from. So I
Okay.
kind of have that connection. But I'm here. I got 3 kids. I'm married. Like you said, I'm a like player developmental coach, mental coach, yoga teacher with
Yeah.
going to locomotive, and I'm working on flow player. So everything's lovely. You know what I mean?
Man, I love to hear that. And like you said, I want
Yeah.
to back up for a second because, like you said, you're from Atlanta. First of all, which part of Atlanta are you from?
Man, College Park,
Okay,
man.
you from College Park, Atlanta, living in Bulgaria. That's dope, man. That's I can imagine that like maybe your younger self never would have thought this is where you would be today. But the way,
You and I both.
right? So the way the world works, but like what is it like? What's the weather like in Bulgaria? And what's it like? What does it like living there? Like is it slow? Is it fast paced? I never been there before.
Right, man. You hit it right on the head, man. Never in a million years I think I'll be here. The story of me getting here is epic,
Yeah.
but the weather is the same, bro. Like I
Okay.
thought it was just gonna be cold because it's the Balkans, it's a mountainous region,
Yeah.
but it's super hot today. Everything's Celsius, so it's like 30, almost 40 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
Celsius. So it's the same.
Yeah.
Winters are harsh, snow and all that. But in the summer, super hot. Uh, Society wise, it's a very tight culture,
Mm.
very tight culture. My family here is very beautiful. I have no problems, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Uh, but culturally, it's very tight. It's very laid back. Like I said, I live in a village. The
Okay.
capital city is Sofia. That's like 2 hours away. Now that's fast.
Okay.
That's fast. But Bulgaria's laid back. It's kind of behind the times a little bit.
Okay.
Very safe country. I love it for my children. Very safe country. And you know what, bro? The same thing's going on in the States is going on here.
Yeah.
The only difference is these people over here, they see the States, they see glamour, they
Mm.
see spectacular, the spectacle. Where over here, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that, but that's the difference. But other than that, it's the same, bro. The
I
same.
understand. I do. I get what you
Yeah.
mean. And I'm sure we'll unpack that a little bit more throughout our conversation.
Word.
Because like I said, how does a brother get to Bulgaria? And so, and that's the beauty of the way that life works, right? Our story takes
Yeah.
us so many different places. It's like we are in control with the things that we do and how we move. But overall, there are things outside of us that we don't always predict, and
Hmm.
getting this. So we'll dive into it this way. I like to
Yeah.
start off our conversation by asking guests this question, and it is, what is your journey line? And so a journey line essentially is kind of a creative way to tell people about who you are. That's the reason why I'm asking. But essentially,
Okay.
it's like you're mapping out from a high level view, the highs, the lows that got you to where you are today. So in a way, it's me asking like, man, who you are. Tell the people about yourself. But
Okay, man.
I ask you
So,
that question is, what's your journey line?
okay, cool, man. First of all, man, my grandparents raised me. My grandfather, he was in the military, so we traveled a lot in the United States and even in Europe as a little kid. And we settled in Atlanta. That's when I got into basketball heavy. Um, Probably around seventh, eighth grade.
Okay.
That's when I started to take it serious. And I went to this small high school. And I started out in Christian school. Then I went to this small high school around the way. And that's when, and this high school was like, it was small. Nobody paid attention to it. My
Yeah.
coach was just getting started. He didn't have connections because, this is when I got introduced to politics. And
Okay.
so I had to play my way up. You know what I mean? That's the foundation right there, the strength, playing my way up, going into the city, going into the city and seeing the ranked players or the high schools that have the gatekeeper coaches, or they have the tradition and all these things, and making my name, and then Bob Gibbons saw me play one game in the AAU tournament, national AAU tournament, and then he ranked me 88 playing the whole nation, all positions. One
Mhm.
game. I went from unknown, boom, just like that. Went to University of Florida, had somewhat of success, a lot of, ups and downs, because
Mhm.
for me, uh, for me, that's when politics and business came into play. And like, as adults, we still maintain the youth, the games, but do it in a mature way, like
Yeah.
playing grown people games. And so I didn't really understand that. But nonetheless, I still had some really high highs there. And it took me overseas, South America, Europe, and all these things. And it brought me to the yoga. It
Yeah.
brought me to the yoga through injury. So I came to it. First, I came to it through Shavasana.
Mm.
Then throughout that year, the trainer I was playing in Portugal, and he was like, "You should do yoga. You should do yoga." And I thought it was all about stretching and all that.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
Yeah. Yeah.
once I got to it, though, it was like, "Oh, this is me." Like,
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this. You know what I mean? So I got into the asana practice, and it just took off from there. Once I got into the asana practice, which is after that season, after a small season with them, then a full season with that same team, came back home. This is when I decided, I don't want to play anymore.
Mhm.
And now I'm going to the studio. I'm practicing like 3 times a day. I'm still off season
Yeah.
training because I'm still in turmoil, but I'm still training. But I'm at the studio more than I'm on the court. So the next move is right underneath my nose. I just can't see it yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much my journey. And each step, basketball has been a bridge. And once I found yoga, I continue to play basketball, but just in a different way.
Yeah.
I'm playing on the mat now. So that's pretty much it. But in that whole thing, though, lots of roller coaster, lots of coincidences, a lot of signs, a lot of
Yeah.
things for me to pick up on to make my next move. So yeah, man, that's pretty
Absolutely.
much it.
It's a journey, right? So that's why we ask, what's your journey line, right? Because nobody's
Uh,
journey is linear for sure. It is like that. It goes to some back. You got to go back every now and again before you go forward. So, like, one of my favorite books is The Alchemist. And
mm,
I read it back for the first time, truly read it through back in like 2019, and it had a grip on me ever since then. But it has like the what I like about it is about this young man who's on this journey, and along the way of him trying to fulfill his goal, his end goal, his purpose, people come along to help him, and things just happen with that feels like luck or coincidence, but it's a lot of times
Mm.
when you're operating in your purpose, things unlock for you. Like the next step takes the next step. So you talked in a high level overview about your journey, but let's hop into it and let's take it back to the beginning for you. So like for you,
Uh,
you were a successful basketball player, right? To make it to Division 1 level, to play professional basketball, that's success. And not a lot of people get to make it to that place. But what was it that introduced you into basketball, and who were some of the most influential people that kind of shaped you in that early part of your life?
well, it was my family, my grandfather. But I had even as a toddler, I had uh this love for balls,
Yeah,
right? Like just, the ones, that bounce,
yeah,
right? And because we would go to the grocery store, like they had these grocery stores back then, they used to have these balls that were kind of like tie-dyed colored, and
okay,
they'd be in this big bin. And every
yeah,
time we go to the grocery store, I have to have a new one. Okay. So and I would show out, right? I show
yeah,
out and store, throw a tantrum. Boom. And then at 4 years old, my grandfather was watching the Sixers play, and my grandfather was like, yo, you can beat him.
mm,
And
mm,
it stuck, bro. Like, I don't know what I remember to this day. And mind you, I'm 51.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I
Great 51.
appreciate it, man. Like, I remember to this day, we was in New York, in Brooklyn. She said, we was watching Dr. J. You can be like him.
Yeah,
And I took it and ran with it. So it was my family, my grandfather first, and then, with me being raised by my grandparents, they had
yeah,
6 daughters.
okay,
The oldest daughter is really my mother, but up until I could find out the truth, she's my
yeah,
oldest sister. So
yeah,
everybody's around. I'm the only boy, so everybody's like encouraging me. And once 5 years old hit, we're in Germany, and the DYA, that's the rec center. They got I can play organized. Well, as
yeah.
organized as 5 years old could be organized, but
Okay.
that started it. You know what I mean? And all the way up there, and I just been in the mix, from
Yes.
there. So yeah, it's family. That's what it was. And
So
Dr.
that's
J,
it. Dr. J, yeah, I mean, he was
Dr.
out
J.
young. So a lot of things happen. So one thing, two things I just got from there. You've kind of like you've living abroad isn't new to you. This is kind of like
Um,
you're not new to this. You're true to this. Living in Germany at like 5. I mean, I get it. So in some
mm,
ways, you kind of it was at an early age you were already traveling. And then
mm,
the other thing I was going to mention was you had said your grandfather had said this could be you. And so sometimes it
mm.
takes somebody else seeing something in us that we don't see. And like they identify it. And then it's like once you see it, you can't unsee it. And so you basically saw yourself being in that position of making it to the professional league. And I guess that journey from childhood to getting to college, you talked about becoming ranked 88th player in the nation, but like, what was that like for you to get to Florida? And then when you got to Florida, how did talk to us about that journey?
Well, that journey was fun because we would go to church on Sunday, and this is leading up to my going into my junior year. And every Sunday after church, we would go to the store that's on the Army base. We go to church on Army base,
Yeah,
so it's like 50 minutes.
yeah,
And I go straight to the magazine rack. So they had this magazine called Street and Smith. And
mm,
so they was always ranking the basketball players. And I would always go to the magazine and look for my name as if I missed it or something. Right. So that
yeah,
boiled up a fire in me. Plus on Sundays, that whole Big East, the Big East was hot back then with Georgetown and Syracuse and
yeah,
all them. Right. But so that was fun. I love to compete. If I come across a player that I knew that I saw, let's go. You know what I mean? Let's
yeah,
go. Let's get it. Um, and then it was my junior year in high school. I broke my hand. It's supposed to be my come out season, breakout season. So
mm,
I break my hand the first game of the season, the first
yeah,
play. It was an alley-oop play, but I jumped too far underneath the rim, jumped and hit my hand and broke. So
mm,
I'm out for like basically with 8 games left in the season. So I
mm,
come back, but the whole season I'm in practice with my left hand. So I didn't sit
yeah,
down. I just kept it going. So that's supposed to be my breakout season. I think the high school season, but it was really after that, the AAU season and the summer circuit. That's when I came out. That's when I'm traveling all over the,
Okay.
not all over the United States, but from camp to camp. You
Yeah.
know, I'm at Nike camp. I'm here, and I'm building my name up. I'm seeing all the players I saw in Street and Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere you go, you see them. Boom. Okay. All right. Ooh. So let's go. You know what I'm saying? Then I build my name up. You know, I'm at the AAU Nationals. Even I played 19 and under that year too. You know,
Yeah.
everybody's going to college. Chris Webber and them, they going to college.
Okay.
But I'm coming back to high school. Me and Kerry Kittles. You know what I mean? We ended up
Okay.
being on that 8-man AAU team or AAU All-American team with those dudes. But we going back to high school. And you know, I just built my name up, man. And, you know, now colleges are calling me, the letters are coming, the offers are coming. And I signed with Florida before the season started in the first signing period.
Okay.
Because now I'm starting to feel the pressure, the recruiting
Yeah.
pressure. I don't want to talk on the phone no more. Like, I don't want to do that. And you know, I made my decision and it was a pretty good decision. It was a great decision. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it was a great decision. And so when I get there, it's a little bit different than I expected, of course. And but I just made the best out of it. One thing about Florida and I guess Division I athletics is, you know, the pressure of getting the job done, you know, and going into the business and
Yeah.
even more politics than
Yeah.
I would feel in high school. But Florida was a great decision. In hindsight, I feel like I would have transferred after my sophomore
Mm.
year. We went to the Final Four my sophomore year.
Okay.
We played Duke, Grant Hill now,
Okay.
and my stock up.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to go to Syracuse or Arizona. That's where I really wanted to go, but they weren't really, you know, checking for me. So a business move, I would have transferred, but I didn't feel the need to. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because out of all those Florida teams, except for my freshman year, I could have took it and ran with it. It was right there. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But that's what it was, man. It was a lot of ups and downs in Florida, a lot of just a lot of ups and downs. Sometimes going into games not really knowing how I'm going to perform.
Yeah.
Um, and that's the things like picking Florida. What was I picking it for? Was I picking it
Mm.
for the coach? Did he remind me of someone that I
Mm.
saw success with, or that could teach me a higher level of the game? Or was it some players that were there and coming back that I could have great chemistry with and boost up? Or have I always wanted to go to Florida? Was it one of those things that I just want to go there? And so I'm thinking about, you know, and Hans thinking about that because, you know, things are circumstantial. Because if you pick one, the coach may not, the system and all these things may not
Yeah.
agree
He may
with you.
leave.
He
That's
may leave,
he may leave.
anything, man. You
Yeah.
know. So it was just very. And the thing about it is too, is like during that time, like for me, I didn't really know what I was getting into. You
Mm.
know what I mean? That's why with my kids or people that I see, any kids I know or I come in contact with, I'm gonna tell them,
Yeah.
right? I'm gonna tell them
Yeah.
straight up what's going on, and so they gonna walk into the situation not thinking it's all fun and games like it used to be.
Right. Right. And
You
I think
know,
I absolutely, and I'm glad that you started to bring up your why of why you went to Florida, because that was going to be my next question. Is like, could you
mm,
like elaborate on maybe what was your decision making process? Because I know there's a lots of kids nowadays going into
mm.
college and wondering like, all right, how do I decide if this college is the fit for me? And we both know nowadays that the college landscape is the wild, wild west with NIL deals, especially at that big Division I level. But you know, not everybody is going to play at that level. But either way, you know, what would advice, hindsight 2020, for you, would you give to somebody going into college, like how to pick the right school for yourself?
Okay, definitely. Um, First of all, number one is understand that it's three parts to it. It's the actual game, there's
Mm.
politics and business. Those are the three areas you must recognize, not just the game,
Okay.
the politics and the business too, because you can have a excuse me, you can have a mediocre game, but if your politics is on point, then you'll do great business.
Mm.
Okay, so That's first and foremost. Understand that. And I think a lot of kids nowadays do because the high school game is
Yeah.
business and politics to the utmost. If you watch a high school game now, they look like college players. They playing like,
Yeah.
okay. Then next, check off all your boxes. Okay. School or program, coach, teammates, uh, region, conference, as many boxes as you can and see the pros and cons in them.
Mhm.
What you want, what you don't want, what you're willing
Yeah.
to deal with, what you're not willing to deal with. And once you do that, just narrow it down. You know what I'm saying? Go in the boxes and see how many pros, how many cons, narrow it down, talk with your support system. You know what I mean? Somebody's there
Yeah.
for a support system. It may
Right.
not be your family. It may be a friend of the family. It may be your AU coach, high school coach. It may be some type of mentor. It could be your best friend. But somebody's there.
Yeah, for sure.
Somebody's there. So you have to recognize that too. That's one thing I didn't do. I didn't recognize
That's real.
who I could talk to. They were right in my face.
Yeah.
We had a family friend named Ed. He used to bake cookies. He had a cookie business.
Yeah.
He used to come over to the crib. He was like, "Yo, Jay, come outside, man. Let's shoot." Like, ah, man, blah blah blah. Because I'm thinking he trying to get next to me because this, down the third. And so, but in hindsight, he was a person that was trying to help me
Yeah.
get things done the right way. So that's all it is, man. Because everything's circumstantial. You know,
Yeah.
you see a lot of players, man. They, you know, athletes. You know, I'll just speak for basketball players and me in particular. Like sometimes, basketball is like a very vain sport. We're visible, like
Yeah.
the uniforms and all that. Like everything's
Yeah.
fly, and so there's a lot of arrogance that may come with it, especially a guy who had a long career and they was like, yeah, I was making this much money over here, da 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 da.
Yeah.
But basketball is circumstantial. You know what I mean? All of it's circumstantial. If you had great circumstances throughout your career, or if you didn't, you were able to figure it out, that's dope, man. But it's
Right.
really circumstantial. You could get hurt, or you could go play. Either the coach could stifle you somehow, or your teammates. You can't really find chemistry with them. Like that's
Right.
happened to me playing
Right.
overseas. You playing overseas, then the club looking at you funny if you're not performing. But what about the circumstances?
Right. It's a lot of
Okay.
things. Yeah, that environment, right? It's kind of like it's
Yeah.
like a plant, man. The plant has to be in the right environment to grow, right? So it's like if you don't have the right soil, if it ain't getting enough sunlight, if it's not getting enough water, it's not going to be able to grow in the same way with athletes or just people in general. You could put somebody in what looks like on the outside a good situation, but if it don't really fit for you, then it's hard to be able to grow through that.
Yeah.
That's real. And so like
Yeah.
as we think about like as we continue the journey, and I do want you to unpack a little bit too, but it's tied into my question, unpack the idea of like the politics and stuff like that. I think that'd be good to, hear your perspective on it. But like as you think about your ups and downs at Florida from probably having, learning how to deal with performance anxiety to navigating the politics of big time basketball, talk to me about some of those highs and some of those, well, really how did you navigate those low moments? How did you navigate those politics, all of that, as a teenager, essentially at college?
Well, I made friends outside of my team. That
Okay.
was one. I wouldn't, not solely and just not, but I would have friends outside the team that I can go chill with. They can help me see different perspectives. That's one way. The other way was just observation.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Observing and just staying cool about it. Observing because I can use these observations in my next chapter.
hmm
So whatever's going on right now, I might not be cool with it, but at the same time, I'm watching it. That's why I'm able to come out of that situation and be like, yo, game, business, politics. You got to recognize those three areas for, to succeed in that situation. Um, what else? I would be by myself a lot, but at this time, I don't know anything about yoga. I don't know anything about
Yeah.
breathing. I don't know, so
Yeah.
it was just a lot to deal with, and I was just a lot of for me was friends outside the team and isolation at times, enough isolation to just really think, and just working diligently,
Yeah.
working on my game.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. That's the yoga part of it. You know what I mean? Without knowing it, go to the weight room, go
Yeah.
work on your game, go to practice, like truly go to practice and lock in and compete.
Right.
That's really those three areas right there. That's what helped me cope with that without playing the game, business, politics game. So that's the thing. Like I didn't play the game. I was just like, I'm thinking just keeping it real. Just like all I need to do is just play well.
Yeah.
All that other stuff, I don't really have to deal with that. But at a certain point, you're gonna have to. You know what I
Gotta
mean?
play
But
the
you but
game.
you but you don't have to. It just depends on
Right.
what you want.
Right.
If you want the perks, most likely you're gonna have to play the game.
Yeah.
If you do, most likely you don't have to. Just most likely. It's not 100%, but you know, that's pretty much it. Those three things, bro. Like outside friends, alone time, and really
Yeah.
locking in on why you're there.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
That helps you
Really
to
locking
cope in
in.
those ways. What would you say? So, like moving us forward, even at like say from your time in Florida to your time now, you starting to get into the professional leagues. What were some of the biggest challenges that you faced and that you had to overcome?
For me, it was pressure to perform
Mm,
pretty much by yourself.
mm.
Because usually when I go play overseas, there's like maybe one or two other import players, which
Okay.
okay. So when and then everybody else is domestic.
Yeah.
And so you domestic players, depending on the country, they're like, nonchalant, they don't really care. Doesn't really matter to them.
Yeah.
But it matters to you because they'll send you home quick,
Hmm.
right? There's no guaranteed, or at least I didn't have a guaranteed contract most of the time.
Yeah.
So it's like you cut me in December at the Christmas break, then I'm going home and then I gotta wait for the next bus
Mm.
to come along. You know what I mean? Hopefully
Yeah.
that's like within a week or two.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it right there. Just when you perform well, then the team was nice. If you didn't, you could have. There was a game, bro. I had like astronomical numbers, and we still lost. And the GM was like, they ignored me like the whole week, bro.
Yeah,
You know
no,
what I'm
makes you
saying?
feel, yeah, no, no, no. I get it. That performance anxiety is a real thing. I think a lot of guys struggle with that. I know that's something I used to struggle with. When I played, I used to throw up before every game, man. Just
Mm.
because the thought about like if I fail, you know what I mean? Like what are the consequences to this? But like with you having to deal with that, like how did you learn how to cope with all of that?
For me, my strategy has always been very militant.
Yeah.
I just stick to code. I eat right. I eat right. I go to sleep. I train, and I stay away from anything that could distract
Yeah.
me. I'm very militant in
Yeah.
my approach. Whereas I play with guys, they was just doing whatever, and they still come hoop,
Hmm.
right? But for me, that's how I dealt with it. I just stay on business,
Mm.
stay on business, and then that way, whatever happens, I'm okay with it because I know I did what I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'll be like, oh damn, bro, you was you wasn't doing what you're supposed to do, man. You was sleeping
Right.
all day, dragging, So whatever happens after that happens. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But as long as I know that I did as much as I could do, then of course, sometimes we don't know everything. Oh, I could have did
Right.
this or that, but as long as I'm content with that, I'm good.
I understand that.
Yeah.
Did you
So
ever
for
have did you ever have like visions of playing like in the NBA? And if so, it's like what happened? How did you feel when that did not become your reality?
you know what, bro, that was never really a dream of mine.
Okay.
You know when my dream stopped was playing Division 1 basketball.
Okay. Talk about
And
it.
that and yeah, because because earlier I was telling you and being ranked. So
Yeah.
being ranked, I achieved it. going home, watching Syracuse and Georgetown battle on Sundays. I want to play D1, achieved it. And so I didn't have that after that. So basically, once I played my first game in Florida, it was done.
You made it.
I did. And so, but see, that's cool. But if I'm beating myself up about the league later on, it's because I didn't see it. I didn't, because the other things, I saw it. I willed it into fruition. Things were happening left and right. And quite frankly, the league, I got one foot in the door in the league. And, you know, we there at Florida, everybody got one foot in the door.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I could have done it, but I didn't. Florida was wide open for the taking, bro.
For sure.
Wide open, man.
For sure.
It's a football school, right?
Yeah.
Well, it was.
Yeah. No, but I get it. Y'all had all of the, the notoriety. Y'all made it to the Final Four your sophomore year, that type of thing. So yeah, that did make me wonder if like you had that aspiration, but it does make sense of like from a young kid, like you said, you saw yourself playing in the Big East. You saw yourself either playing in Syracuse, but that was your vision and you achieved that. And so I can understand how, it's like, I wasn't really thinking about that. But what made you continue to want to play, I guess, basketball overseas? What took you to Europe and South America and those places like that?
Well, I knew that I had to finish it out in my own way in order to be content leaving the game behind. I knew I had to get paid to play in order for me to walk away and not be like, oh man.
That makes sense.
So that's all it was.
That makes sense. You wanted to leave on your own terms. You write your own destiny, that type of thing. I get that.
Yeah,
that does make sense. That does make sense. So how long was your professional career?
It was 8 seasons.
Okay.
8 seasons. Because here and there, I got hurt. I tore my ACL, so I was out for a season, basically. So here and there, it was just like little things happening to set me back a little bit.
Yeah.
So from then I stopped playing at 32.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had a good career, man. You had a good and long career. And so something that you said at the beginning of this podcast is that in the midst of navigating injuries and playing ball still, you had a trainer that started talking to you about yoga. He's like, hey, man, you should try it. It was like you said, it was in front of your face, but you wasn't necessarily seeing it right then and there. What for you, talk to me about that transition, what got you into yoga, and then let's talk about that journey for you and how it's been so pivotal for you in your life now.
All right, real dope. Well, I was playing in Uruguay.
Okay.
And at the Christmas break, they cut me.
Okay.
Like I was telling you, usually, when you get cut, maybe a week or so, but this was like 3 months, bro. I'm in Atlanta 3 months. So I'm going through it mentally, but this one, always with me, like no matter what's going on, I still handle business. So I'm training in the pool. I'm doing my drills. I joined the Pro-Am League. It was competitive. So like that plays like 2 or 3 nights a week. So it's just like a overseas season. I'm still like simulating it.
Right.
So the end of April, my agent was like, yo, you want to go to Portugal to play with this team? They're going to play in the playoffs. So their team's in the bottom of the league. So instead of playing in the playoffs, they play in the playouts. So whoever loses the playoffs in 2 rounds, you get demoted to the lower league.
Okay.
So I go over there, and by that time when he asked me, I was like, yes. You know what I mean? Like I had built up a lot, and I was on point. So I get over there, everything, the circumstances are beautiful. Everything's perfect, right? So before I leave, one of my friends gives me a Egyptian yoga book.
Okay.
And he was like, here, man, take this with you. And I'm looking at it. I was like, why are you giving me this, though? And he was like, nah, I just take it with you. Read it on the plane. And so as soon as I open it, boom, Shavasana. They're talking about Shavasana, right? So I get over there and I start laying on the bed and, rise and fall with the breath and visualize it right here, playing like perfectly. And even if a bad play does come in, I don't tense up and stop breathing. I just stay with it, okay? So I did that. we play some friendly games. Now it's time for the playoffs. Killed it. I never played so good in a long time, bro. In the zone, like the first minute, because the other team had this Ron Artest type of dude, import player. That's what it is about overseas. It's always you and the other import player, right? They had this Ron Artest dude, and at the beginning of the game, he bumped me to let me know he's there. And so I'm kind of forcing it a little bit in first minute, but at a certain point, after that minute, the light clicked. This is the flow state. This is the zone. You know what I'm saying? And all that, everything I am visualized happened.
Yeah.
We play them the next week at their gym. They got a rim that's slanted like this.
Yeah.
and they, overseas is wild, so they'll give us that rim in the second half.
Okay.
Bro, it's the same performance for me, dog. I'm like, the rim over here, I'm shooting from the corner. It still went in. 36. We stay in the league. I get a bonus. They sign me for the next week. Everything's cool. So basically, it started with the philosophy, with the Shavasana.
Yeah.
Okay. But then they signed me back for the next season. I go through the whole season. And then when I came home, that's when I went to the asana practice. It was that second season where the trainer was like, you should do yoga, because I pulled a hamstring and it was like a chain reaction to my back, to my groin, da-da-da-da. So I'm like kind of like a gridlock. So the trainer was like, what's his name? Pablo. Pablo was like, you should do yoga. You should do yoga. You should do yoga. He said like 3 times in a row like that, clapping like that. And I was like, okay, word. So I went home. As soon as I got home, I went to the studio.
Okay.
Right around the corner, it was a hot yoga studio. You know what I mean? And so the first class I went to was a hot class, which is Bikram style, but they couldn't call it Bikram, so they called it hot. Then the next couple weeks, I went to the evening classes too, which was a hot Pilates and then a Vinyasa. So that's how I know I'm hitting it in the morning, and then those 2 at night. And what happened? And then, this is what it was too. The community. The community. I'm not competing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If there is a competitor, it's inside of me.
Right.
And it's known as self-imposed resistance, self-imposed limitations. The mightiest competitor of them all. Okay? When you conquer that one, then the ones outside of you, they become invisible. But that is how I got into the practice. It took a full year, but it started with Shavasana.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, I feel like I could talk to you for at least another 45 minutes to an hour just on yoga alone. I'm for real. We can have a whole separate conversation on just the beauty of like that, yoga is like union, and it helps you to reunite with yourself. That's it. And the way that you just worded that is beautiful, man. But this journey of it's like a healing journey too, right? And so, like, as you went through it, obviously, as a player, you just talked through how, like, as a player, you got introduced to it and made you start and continue with it. But, like, post career, now you are like, what got you to say, hey, I want to teach this and I want to continue to incorporate this as like this healing tool for others?
Okay, no doubt. It was because once I got into it, once I hit that going 3 times a day, I was like, man, I've been looking for this for so long. And the community, the yoga community, when I was involved with, it was like I would see the same practitioners and I couldn't wait to see them. And it was just nice. It was something I had been looking for.
Yeah.
And it was always, it's in all of us, but now it's like I made a connection with it. And I had no identity crisis after that, because I felt like I'm still playing, but now it's through yoga. And that's how I came up with Flow Player. But so I'm still playing basketball, but it's on the mat now.
Yeah.
So there's no, So
like I love it. So like talk to me a little bit more about Flow Player and what all that entails.
Man, Flow Player is a practice where you can practice your game on the mat.
Yeah.
Right. And it is the practice of being in the zone, because that feeling, it comes and goes. Like no one knows how to tap into the zone. Once I discovered Shavasana in Portugal and it actually happened, that was the beginning of brainstorming Flow Player up until, a while back, but now it's
Yeah.
time to put it out. But it's basically the physical and the mental coach all in one. That's the
Yeah.
body and the mind to get to the spiritual. Once you start playing spiritually, you can't
Mhm.
be touched, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's all about. It is you practicing on the mat. Now, it's for basketball players, but we designate the player, the court, the game, the skill set, and how to turn distraction into your own personal power.
Mm.
Okay. So whatever's distraction off the court, it's like the crowd, the trash talking player, off the court issues, those same things are happening inside of you. So even though it was inspired by the basketball player and that's what I'm giving to the world, the parts it's universal. So you could be a
Yeah.
mother, you could be I don't know, a pianist, whatever it
Yeah.
is, all you have to do is insert yourself in and change the parts to suit it for you.
Yeah, no,
And
and I imagine this is something that you are, you are putting out there, and like, how could people like, connect with it?
oh, absolutely, man. Um, I got a website, theflowplayer.com,
Yeah,
theflowplayer.com. And it'll
theflowplayer.com.
yeah, it'll launch. I don't know when this is coming out, but it's gonna launch probably this week or sometime,
Okay.
and the first week is free.
Yeah.
Right, the first 7 days is free, so just try it out, all that. Or and you can also find me on Instagram at Jason Anderson Yoga, and also the Flow Player. There's two
Yeah.
two Instagram pages, and even on TikTok, the Flow Player.
That's
So
amazing, man. So like
yeah,
for I guess athletes, for every modern day people, like, talk to me, because you talked about some of the mental challenges that you were going through, especially after you got cut. You were back home in Atlanta for like 3 months. I can imagine the mental gymnastics you had going on. But how does yoga support mental health, like, especially for you?
absolutely. That whole 3 month thing, that was an identity crisis.
Talk to me about that.
Okay. Now that's when I had the identity crisis because I wasn't quite ready to give it up. And I'm like, damn, nobody want to sign me no more. Da 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 da. I'm not good enough anymore. What am I gonna do? That type of thing. But stay true to it. I just simulated a
Mm,
FIBA season while I'm sitting back.
yeah.
While I'm sitting back, simulate it, but I'm still going through it. But no matter what's happening, everybody out there, no matter what's happening, find a way to keep it going. Because at any point, things change, doors open and close. So you
Yeah.
always stay on point, stay ready. Um, but as far as mental health, it's just, studying yourself and observing yourself in relation
Yeah.
to the world around you.
Mm,
Like really, really refining that relationship to the world around you, starting inside of you.
mm.
Okay. And removing, like I said, dealing with your most formidable opponent, and that lives inside of you, known
Right.
as
So,
fear-based issues,
yeah.
self-imposed issues,
Yeah.
self-imposed resistance and limitations,
Yeah.
self-doubt, all these things. It's all the same. All right. And so that's really what it is, and it's just a breath cycle.
Yeah.
All right. Inhale, length, space, energy. Exhale, cleanse, relax into your space. What is space? Space is potential.
Mm.
Space is clogged up sometimes by your most formidable opponent or your arch nemesis.
Self.
All right. Yeah. Right. He's in here like this.
Yeah.
But when you exhale for that moment, then you chill and do it again. Bring it in.
Yeah.
And then go even deeper. Whether it's a yin posture, you're going to have a different approach, or a dynamic posture, you're going to have a different approach. And then that restorative is like the two combined, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So different approaches for each one, but it's in your breath cycle.
Yeah,
That's
it's
what it
all in the
is.
breath. Okay. Yeah, no, I control
Yeah.
that breathing and all those things. I think yoga has so many benefits on for everybody, not just athletes, not just for women or men. It's just for everybody. It truly is for everybody. It's something that I think that it's a lot of value in it. And so as we are kind of, winding down this conversation and we are thinking about like, the journey itself, what would you say to someone who might be at like a crossroads and maybe they're an athlete trying to figure out their next steps in life? Like, what would you say? What advice would you give to them right now?
A lot of times that next step is right underneath your nose. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? But if you're holding on to something, then you won't be able to see it. Like for me, the yoga, once I'm practicing that, I'm going to the studio 3 times a day, it's right there. But if I'm holding on to basketball,
mm,
I can't smell it.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So it's just being open-minded, open-hearted, and whatever it is, if you're an athlete, don't start sitting, don't become sedentary. Just
yeah,
continue your same process, but with an open mind, open heart,
yeah,
because that's what we do. And at the same time, if you happen to change your mind or your heart changes, you're ready. You can still step into that. But if you're done, just be done.
yeah.
Just be done. Just put it behind you. Don't be that don't be that punch drunk boxer, man. Just just
It's real though.
yeah,
That can
man.
be a hard pill to swallow. That can be.
Yeah, man. And it's not easy. I
Yeah,
know it's
not
not
at all.
easy. But but like I said, man, just see the bigger picture, not those small pictures.
Yeah,
But see the whole wall, you know what I mean, instead of that
yeah,
one picture. There's a
yeah.
lot of pictures on that wall, man. And just
Go get it.
go get it, man.
Yeah, go get
Just
it. Uh,
go do some yoga, man. Go breathe.
go do
That's
some
what you need to do.
yoga.
Yeah, go breathe or something. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
when you breathe on autopilot, that's when everything moving so fast.
I
I don't know,
know.
I don't know. But when you are driving the breath flow, that's when you're like, oh, okay,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
I just finished reading this book by a guy named his name's Thich Nhat Hanh, and
Mm,
he's a I might get this wrong, I don't want to get it wrong, but I think he's a monk. He's a Buddhist monk, but he writes a lot of good things. But he was talking like mindfulness and just like being conscious of your breathing, being conscious of your thinking, like being conscious of what
mm,
you're doing helps you to be in that moment. And that's kind of when you said that just a minute ago, it reminded me of that. But like I feel like all athletes would benefit greatly. Like your game would go to a whole different level if they did yoga and kind of could just tap in, like you said, winning that battle within yourself. And so last thing I think about is this. We started this off early in the beginning of the conversation when I was like, man, that kid from College Park probably would have never expected to be where you are today. And like
mm,
I think about my life story and when I think about that inner kid, right? It's really that inner child that was imagining and envisioning me playing professional sports was the reason why I'm here today. And so in the same way for you, it's like that young person inside of you fueled you to where you are today. And I guess like if you were to sit side by side with that younger version of yourself, what do you think he would say to you right now?
mm. Man, he's like, man, I can't even fathom
Mm,
the things and the places, the yeah, man, that's deep, man. That younger person in me, but like, I can't even imagine the life you've led. And
yeah,
I'm not even like, who, like I'm not even LeBron when it comes to career achievements, because
yeah,
it's just I've always been that fly on the wall. Like I'm always in the place to be.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So that's what it's about. It's just I think he'll be very, very, very intrigued by this path,
yeah,
this path, and how certain events lead to certain things, and this, that, and the third. Because this whole Bulgaria thing was brewing a long time ago.
yeah.
I had Bulgarian friends in Atlanta,
Mm.
years before. I go out to Cali for teacher training. I
Yeah.
go to a studio. The teacher asked me after class, "Yo, we're going to Bulgaria to film yoga videos. You want to go?"
Mm,
And at that time, I was reading The Alchemist too, bro.
look at that.
And that book helped me decide to go because I was looking at him like Bulgaria.
Mm,
Nah, man. Like, no, for real, for real. Check it out. Here's the website. Send an email here. All you got to do is pay for your flight.
mm,
That led to me coming over here more, making my own videos.
yeah.
Now it's the Yoga Music Festival.
Yeah.
Now I met my wife. Now I'm here
Yeah.
in the village. You know what I'm saying? Like just the Santiago,
Absolutely.
open mind, open hearted.
Yeah, open mind, open hearted, and I feel it when you say it too, right? Open mind, open hearted, and overall, man, I think nothing is wasted. No, nothing is wasted in our journeys. Everything is for a reason, and I think that your story, from College Park, Atlanta, all the way to Bulgaria, and everything in between, everything in between, honestly, is a testament of taking that journey, riding that journey,
Right.
going through the highs, going through the lows, but not
Mm,
allowing the lows to keep you down, not allowing the highs to solely define you, right? It's helping you to evolve into who you are supposed to be and move and groove in your purpose. And so I'm grateful. I'm grateful for this conversation. I truly do wish that this was like a longer conversation, man. Honestly, I wish I was in Bulgaria right now, just chopping it up with you. But, I think there is a lot of wisdom that people can take away from this conversation. But more so
right.
than anything, I think that your story is a testament of what happens when you keep going and honestly trusting yourself.
Word. Very beautifully put, man. Very
Yeah.
beautifully put.
So I appreciate you being on the Journey Line podcast. Let the folks at home know where they can get in touch with you and where they can follow you.
Okay, very cool. You can hit me up on Facebook, Jason Anderson. There's a few Jason Anderson, but you'll see me on the picture. You know what I mean? Then Instagram, Jason Anderson Yoga, and also the Flow Player. The Flow Player is building right now. I'm trying to, bring some players or whoever's interested in that type of method. And also on TikTok, the Flow Player.
Got you.
You can find me there. And through those channels, you'll see my website dropping that has the full program on it from beginners, intermediate, and moving forward. It's a very fun program because we use a lot of basketball lingo, or not even a lot. It's all about that. I'm not using any Sanskrit and all of that. It's all based on that. But remember, the program's universal. All you have to do is insert whatever it is you want to practice in the slots. And that's it, man. And the website is going to be called theflowplayer.com.
Sure.
Okay, so just check those social media outlets and you'll be up on the information. And the first week will be free. Check it out. Like I said, you have beginner. It doesn't matter if you're amateur, professional. Don't matter if you 10 or 65. The whole program is for you. And look, don't get caught up on poses. You
Mm.
look in magazines, on Instagram, you see
Yeah.
people putting their leg behind their head and all that. Don't
Right.
worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. You don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? We got you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's
For
it.
sure, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, follow Jason Anderson on social media and stay tuned for the Flow
All
Player when it drops soon. Man, Jason, we appreciate you being here. Don't
right.
forget to subscribe to the Journey Line podcast. Follow us on social media as well. But Jason, once again, thank you for this opportunity and thank you for the conversation, man. We appreciate you. Thank you.